Hello everybody and welcome to A Good Death, a Skyrim Permadeath series where the difficulty is always legendary and each new character is randomly rolled for, including race, class, birth sign, starting location, dragonborn status, yada yada yada. If this sounds awesome to you, hit the like and subscribe button because I do this every week, Saturday at 6 p.m. UTC. I'm going to leave you to do the conversions on your own because I never get them right. Let's see, we got Mr. B and Squared Zeus in the chat. Welcome guys, hope you're off to a good start on your weekend. How's my day going? Well, it just started about, I want to say 30-40 minutes ago. I had a hard time sleeping last night, so it was hard getting myself out of bed in time to prep for the stream today, to be completely honest with you. So that's how my day's going. It's just getting started. No better way to start it than with Skyrim. Well, as you can see, this guy looks a little different than he has, right? Well, that's because we got some new gear. We got a lot of new gear, pretty much a full refresh. And since we're a werewolf now, I am imagining Duras really leaning into the whole monster thing, the monster heavy metal thing for his bard tone, I guess. So he's dark, and his whole persona now is going to kind of shift to sort of the midnight bard, where he's like this legendary bard that visits and plays at inns at the midnight hour, and he wears this disturbing mask, and he's cloaked all in black. And he sings songs of debauchery and violence. That sounds kind of awesome to me. So another thing that I did, so he's got new gear for sure. Ooh, what was that? I don't know what the hell that was. So he's got a new outfit for sure. This is the contractor armor. This is the unenchanted set that I self-enchanted, and I'll talk about that a little bit later too. He's also traded out his keening dagger for the fetcher's knife from Billy Rose Compendium. It's a very cool looking item. I named that Beast's Hunger. It absorbs 142 points of armor from the target for 10 seconds and absorbs 28 points of health. That's pretty crazy, right? And also, I found out that I can take Fortify Destruction Potion. And that jumps armor up to 437 points of armor that you absorb and 86 points of health that you absorb. Now, I've also traded out Dawnbreaker for a self-enchanted weapon called Meridia's Rage. The target burns, that should be 10 points per second until combat ends. I don't know why that's now all of a sudden 9. And then Undead up to level 31, flee for 30 seconds. So the issue with the Bard is that while he has enchanting and alchemy, he does not have smithing. So I can't take the arcane blacksmith perk. It is very powerful, and I'll talk about that a little later too. He can't take the arcane blacksmith perk, so it's much more powerful for an alchemist slash enchanter to take like smithing potions and use your enchanted smithing gear to smith up an unenchanted item without perks in the smithing tree whatsoever, and then apply an enchantment to it afterwards, because you can't smith up pre-enchanted stuff like Daedric artifacts. So I gave Lucian Dawnbreaker, and I decided to call this Meridia's Wrath because it does something similar. It burns and it turns undead. But it is also a lot stronger. It does a lot more physical damage. And I think it's a little lighter too. So we're still a Meridia crony. Where we got kind of the demon hunter thing going, where it's like you hunt the darkness, but some of it kind of seeps back into you too, so kind of a dark hunter. So that is the knife and the blade there, the sword and the knife. Let's see, I've also enchanted my gear too, so for the body slot on the armor, We got light armor buffing up 28 points. And magicka regenerating 71% faster. And you can see that my total armor rating is well above the cap now too. So we get a blanket 80% damage reduction. Unless Ordinator lifts that. I'm not sure if it does. I'll have to look into that. Boots, we got one-handed attacks doing 46% more damage, which is deadly. And also put a movement speed buff on there because I felt a little sluggish with the other armor. The gloves, another 46% one-handed damage, and power attacks cost 17% less. On the hood, we have illusion spells and enchantments cost 28% less, and increases duration of alchemical potions by 53%. So with all this stuff, we're not going to need our lab skeever perk anymore. I might use it here and there for things like just boosting like illusion. Because we're not going to need it for light armor anymore. One-handed skill is ridiculous. So yeah, with all this, we're really strong. We're really strong. We're only level 43 here. For the next character, or for the next profile version anyway, I'm going to be disabling the uncapper. I'm getting too many perks per level. Getting an extra perk every 5 levels right now is ridiculously powerful in Ordinator. And then being able to uncap your skills also makes it so these things get really, really strong, even without any kind of perk investment. So uncapper is going away for the next one. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not really all that scared of death anymore with this character, which kind of breaks it for me. So I'm just going to be focused on getting through the companion's quest line. And then we're going to test ourselves against a really strong character, probably in the form of Harkon. We're still a Meridia crony, so we're going to try to defeat the vampire threat there. But eyes on the prey, not on the horizon for right now. Let's just focus on getting through the companion's quest, which is something we've never done with any character before. Magus80, welcome, welcome. How's it going, bud? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so for right now, we're close to leveling up Discord, the Forgotten Magic spell, so I'm going to be blasting some fools with this. So this is the next Silver Hand quest from Ayla. And we are here to steal the Silver Hand plans, schematics. Sorry, Lucian.
About time to get lost, friend.
We are still weak to silver, so he's still doing a little chunk of damage to us here, but the damage reduction with the new armor is just, it's really strong. We are weak to silver, we are still weak to fire. I do have potions to mitigate the fire weakness and any other kind of magic as well. Did I play Diablo 2? I did a lot, but that was a long time ago. I haven't played the remastered version of it. I kind of played myself out of Diablo 2. I played a lot of that game. Actually, I played a lot of Diablo 1 and Diablo 3 as well, so I am looking forward to Diablo 4. Problem is, I don't know when Starfield's coming out, so Diablo 4 might get deprioritized for me. You good over here, Lucian? Just help you out with that.
That was exhilarating.
What, clipping through the wall? Yeah, I agree. It was like going into another dimension. Anybody else excited for Diablo 4? It looks really good. I like how they added a lot of like things that you can do in gameplay, so it's not just like you know, find your loadout, get your skill tree set, and then just click, 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 right? They're giving you things to do in the midst of gameplay, and ways to change gameplay based on based on certain bonuses you get and everything. Like the Barbarian now has the ability to like hotkey different weapon types and then switch them in the middle of like a combo based on what enemies they're facing. Made a character in Skyrim styles after Assassin in Diablo 2. Yep. That's awesome. And I love making classes from other games in Skyrim. It's like one of my favorite things to do. That's why I did an astrologer build guide on my channel. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I thought I did a pretty good job on it. Sorrow Tonto. Might be using this a little bit for the Scorpion build, speaking of creating classes from other characters in Skyrim. Scorpion's up next from Mortal Kombat. I got some modding work to do before that is good. Nothing like Scorpion specific in the modding, by the way. I don't like importing mechanics from other games into Skyrim so much. So I know that there are Scorpion like gear sets, and you can import Scorpion's harpoons through mods and everything. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to use my current loadout for mods to try to come up with something as close as I can to Scorpion. That's where it's fun for me. And I'm going to be doing like role play and everything too, try to get the whole Revenant thing worked in there. The whole revenge thing. It's going to be fun. Okay, another thing we need to do, and we have the money. I spent a lot of it. We had near 40,000 gold going into or coming out of last week's stream. Now we're down to around 30,000. A lot of that was me buffing up the smithing skill through buying supplies, and then going around buying like grand soul gems and stuff to enchant my gear. So you're saying you've reached that point? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I could get surprised by a dragon, like a fire dragon or something, before I can pop a potion to resist fire. But the chances of getting snuck up on by a dragon with a quick fire breath attack is pretty low, right? Even like a bear or a saber cat, my armor rating right now is so high that I can sustain a few attacks from them before I die, and I can heal up or kill them before it becomes an issue. Yeah, not quite there yet. So I'm just trying to get him to a good place. Maybe the next couple streams. Got to finish up the Companions quest line. We'll do Dawn Guard, and that'll be it. We'll move on to a new character. We'll consider this one a success. Rebalance some things in the next one, and yeah, start over with a new character. 20 is a good run. I think we'll be 22, 23 before we hit the end of this guy, though. Big spending. You could use chain whips for Scorpion. Yep, that was the plan. So I haven't actually tested this out yet, and I have a feeling it may not work quite as well as I'm expecting. But I'm going to be using the whips from Animated Armory for the harpoon, and then hook up the Pull Through Shadows Shadow Triumvirate spell to Spell Scribe. So when I power attack with the chain whip, it'll actually pull the enemy in. And I'll have to fiddle with it a little bit. Might have to use a paralysis potion or paralysis poison on the whip so that I don't get caught in the recovery of that power attack for too long after I pull the enemy in toward me. In the game, that harpoon is kind of like a combo starter, so you get some free attacks afterwards. So like a paralysis poison there would make some sense. And you want to use the paralysis poison instead of the paralysis enchantment, because the paralysis enchantment only has a chance to paralyze an enemy. It doesn't just do it. What peeps up, Connor? Mr. Icarus, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well on this fine start to the weekend. I'm doing great. Hanging out with you all, playing some Skyrim. Okay. So yeah, definitely need to do some rebalancing. Gonna nix the uncapper going forward. We're just too strong right now.
Or a tender rack of ribs.
Against its own people. Love the chain whips, though. The assassin didn't use any chain whips in Diablo 2, but I think if they were in the game, she'd use them. Yeah, absolutely. The demon hunter from Diablo 3 was another one that people love to do in Skyrim. That had a whole moment in Skyrim build history. I think PC Outcast, that's his like kind of cornerstone video, was his demon hunter build guide.
I've been running interference for you around here. I don't think anyone's caught on to our little campaign yet.
Okay, so I took care of that group of Silverhand you wanted.
Excellent. Looks like you've really driven them into hiding. Keep this up. We'll wipe them out yet.
I like it. Looking for work.
And there is more work to be done, but I fear that Kodlak's gotten wind of our recent efforts. He's asked to see you. My advice, always be honest with the old man, but don't tell him anything he doesn't need to know. Gotcha.
All right, let's go talk to Kodlak. Now, he's going to send us to... I don't know. I don't remember if he does this right now. I run some mods on my other profile that slow down the Companion's quest line quite a bit and adds a ton more Radiant quests to it before you can move on with the story. I don't remember at the moment if he sends you to go get the crones now, or if it happens later. Might be now. I'm not running any mods like that now. This is the full like vanilla quest line.
Thank you for coming.
Yep, you wanted to see me?
Yes, young lady. Have a seat.
All right. I'm gonna show him a little respect. We're gonna take the hood off.
I hear you've been busy of late.
Little bit. Oh, and I forgot to eat all the Silverhand while I was at Redoran's retreat. Maybe we'll try fast traveling back there. Hopefully the bodies haven't been cleaned up yet. Yeah, Ayla and I work to avenge Skjor's death. It's just gonna be honest with him.
Grief and my own
this isn't really about honor. This is about revenge.
But his death was avenged long ago. You have taken more lives than honor demanded.
Whip, wrap, pull, and skewer. You know, absolutely.
For some time.
And the pen.
In any case,
hello, hello.
Have you heard the story of how we came to...
And Maldaroth. Macadamia is here. Karn says some really weird stuff. He sure does. Well, Skjor said it was a blessing from her scene.
Aye, that sounds like him. As in all matters of faith, though, the reality is more complicated than one believer would tell you.
So what's the truth, then?
The companions are nearly 5,000 years old. This matter of beast blood.
You look great for 5,000 years old, I gotta say. I mean,
my predecessors was a good but
little powder in the beard and the hair, but you know, not completely white yet. Still little golden brown in there. 5,000. Wow.
Granted great power.
Hope I look that good when I'm 5,000. I'm kidding. And they became werewolves.
They did not believe the change would be permanent.
Does anyone know what happened to Bayofish? I loved his channel, but no, he hasn't been active in the Skyrim community for a while. He's focusing on other projects. I mean, if there's like if like somebody has like a modding question or something, he's, you know, always willing and happy to help through like Discord or whatever. And if like you comment on his channel, sometimes he sees it. So he's still around. He's doing well. He's just not a Skyrim guy for the most part anymore. But you are more powerful now, right?
The witches didn't lie, of course. but it's more than our bodies.
Yeah,
The
Balefish was a
disease,
pillar of the
you see,
community for a while.
affects not just our bodies, it seeps into the spirit. Upon
I don't think he meant he was.
werewolves
Yeah, I
are
know,
trained
I know.
by hearsay for his hunting grounds. For some,
I think he got more, like speaking of Diablo, I think he got really into Diablo 3 for a bit. Got into some other games. He got into some like doing artwork for games and stuff like that. He's a true renaissance man of gaming. Is there a way to cure yourself?
That's what I've spent my twilight years trying to find.
Hey, Mr. Tom Mole.
Now I've found the answer.
Warm sands to you as well, friend. Hope you're doing well on this start to the weekend. Getting it started off right.
But we can extract their foul powers by force. I want you to seek them out. Go to their coven in the wilderness. Strike them down as a true warrior of the wild.
Okay, so we are chasing after the witches now, the Hag Ravens.
From there, we may begin to undo centuries of impurity.
It shall be done.
Good. Now move quickly, and don't leave any of them alive. Talos guide you, lad.
Kodlak's goal is a noble one, and he's been good to us. If we can help him save his soul from Hircine, it's our duty to do so.
I tend to agree, Lucian. We don't know Kodlak well, but he is well respected, and just from the few conversations we've had with him, we can tell that he's an honorable man, and that he deserves to have his wishes met as far as the cleansing of his bloodline and being able to go to Sovngarde. We can respect that, even as a Dunmer. Okay, got to keep up our persona for a musical career here. Kind of got a Slipknot thing going with the mask. Thanks for entry. Oh yeah, no problem.
Businesses, your children, your very lives.
Had enough of fish and fowl. Treat yourself and your kindred.
Yeah, back in the day, Balefish was running like character concept challenges and everything, and that's where a couple of our favorite characters came from in the community here. Trying to think of which characters came about. Oh yeah, so pretty much the stuff that has just vignettes for me, like the Argonian Ashlander that I had was part of his concept challenge. Like the living relic, the Draugr, who was revived to human form, was also a character concept challenge. Brungar, the caveman stuck in the ice with the mammoth. The Mammoth Bane was a character concept challenge. Some really good stuff came out of that. So when he went to go, I want to go back to Redoran's retreat. I'm just going to do a fast travel there. So when he went back to do other things, it's like we lost a lot. He was doing a lot for us. Not to mention all the modding support, like EJ's channel, all the custom follower mods that she has with her. I'm sorry, with his different characters that he has that follow all the different characters around, and how that series is able to mishmatch and weave through different quest lines in different episodes. That was all enabled from Baleofish's modding work and the follower framework that he made, basically created for all of us to use. Same with Couch Warrior. A lot of what Couch Warrior did would have been impossible without Baleofish. Okay, we're here to eat the silver hand. Level 44 already, Magus? I feel like in about a week you've become Just as strong as this character is, who has gone for 20 weeks now. You do it a lot quicker, I guess, when you can do 13-hour streams, right? One thing about eating fools as a werewolf is, like, you don't have to eat so much as a human. There's another guy. I think maybe we lost. Oh no, here he is. Blended in with the wall. Okay, so 3 guys and a dog. Not a whole lot of... Not a very big meal, right? Not a big buffet. Kind of limited. But I do think that I have some unused perks in here. So let's go ahead and flesh that out a little bit. Yeah, 3 perks. Okay. I'm just going to pour it all into Bestial Strength, which is more attack. Now, werewolf form is actually very weak compared to human form with all the gear that I have right now and the way that the perks are set up and everything. Eventually, beast form can become more of a weapon, but right now it's just, it's weaker in every way. Except for maybe movement speed and the fact that you'd take no fall damage. Okay, now that I have rectified that, let's head back to Whiterun. To pretend like this little detour never happened. And then we'll go kill these witches for Kodlak. Beast form with Growl has some nice passives in both forms. It does, indeed. I don't remember what the Dunmer one is, though. I usually go with Bosmer if I'm going to do the werewolf. Okay, where are we going here? Blood's Honor. Collecting witch heads all the way over here. So, I could take a carriage to Falkreath, but I don't feel like that's really going to put us much closer. Maybe a little bit, but not much. So let's just walk over there. Could also get a horse. We could get the black horse too with the armor. Look at that. That's pretty badass. Yeah, let's get the horse.
Got the fleetest steeds in all of Skyrim.
Can I buy a horse?
Suppose so. Got one all saddled if you've got the coin.
This one hopes you don't get killed again, Karn. Feeding and werewolf. Yeah, I know. That's kind of like the biggest weakness right now is werewolf form for me, and also magic and especially fire.
You've got a deal. It's the one with the saddle. Right strong.
Don't they both have saddles? So now we have to name this guy too. Let's try to think of a name while we ride. Lucian, why don't you buy yourself a horse too, huh?
Good afternoon.
Does he have...
Certainly. What needs doing? All right then.
Does he have horse functionality? You figured out how to break YouTube? Nice. Yeah, I saw that you had like a part 1 that just posted. I was like, oh, that must have been that really long stream. Let me turn on a fan real quick. What is the temperature here today? Woke up at 46 degrees. Sure, it has warmed up since then. It's all the way up at 59 now, but the heater's on. It's running right now, so it's like I'm getting just hot air on this thick sweater. A little bit of air movement will go a long way. I'd like to ask you something.
Away.
They both have saddles. Base game only Queen Asilgur has a saddle at first. I see. Can you ride?
Absolutely not. I've tried. Divines know I've tried, but I just can't get the knack. Every single horse I've ever tried
59
to ride just
is
throws me
nice
off.
for me. I like
Or
59.
maybe
That's
I
like
just
the
fall off. The point is, I
perfect,
can't
like I
ride.
can be comfortable in a
Maybe
hoodie.
one day I'll learn, but today is sadly not that day.
Ah, you puss. All right.
Let me know if you need anything else.
Just skipping through all the convenient horses stuff here. Yeah, 59 is great. 40s here in Arizona, with how dry the air is, it can feel really cold. I go to northeastern Pennsylvania fairly regularly to visit my in-laws. Sometimes in the winter when it's snowing, when there's blizzards and stuff, and it doesn't feel that much colder there than it does here in the 30s and 40s. Even when it's like 0 and below. It's weird. I also had a brother who used to live in the Seattle area and the Portland area. Ew. Now this saddle looks crazy. The Midnight Bard can't be... And it got a lot colder there than it did here, but because of all the humidity and the thickness in the air, it felt a lot warmer there than it does here at the same temperature. I like the armor. That looks pretty badass. Bareback, Nordic saddle, Imperial, Traveler, Bard saddle. How about that? I kind of like the Bard saddle. That works. It's a little less imposing, but it's a little more Bard-like. You got all the alcohol here, since we're, worshipping Sanguine still. We got our loot. In fact, I can take the loot off my back now if I wanted to, but I kind of like the way it looks on there. So we'll keep it. We'll keep it for now. I might switch it back up to the armor, because I do like the armor look, but I also do like the Bard look, and I want to lean into the Bard thing, you know? Oh, also what I did is I officially made the transition from calm spells to fear spells. So instead of relying on a calm spell to get out of a fight that I don't want, I'm going to use fear now instead. It doesn't take your enemy out of combat, but it does make them flee instantly. And I've also hooked that up to my power attacks as well. So power attacks will now also trigger the rout spell, which is the area of effect fear spell. Breaking new ground. Yeah, actually I did that last week. So before this, the previous record was day 18 where we died. Made it through day 19 with this guy, and now we're on to day 20. And I did a little bit of crafting, got some new gear, and now I'm really not very concerned about dying anymore. So with that lack of tension, I'm kind of looking toward putting a little bow on this guy's story here. And that involves finishing up with the Companion's quest line and then doing the Dawn Guard quest line. Saving the world and maybe not retiring, but living happily ever after. Living drunkily ever after. Wolves. Just ignore them. So the one weakness we still do have is magic. And since we're an alchemist, I do have some very powerful resist potions. I just have to remember to take them. I'm going to have to remember that for this one. We also do have an inherent weakness to fire as a werewolf and silver. As far as the silver weapons go, we have reached the armor cap now too, Yifri. So at least we can, like, brute force resist physical damage to stay alive. There's still going to be that inherent weakness to silver and to magic, obviously, but... And we still are quite squishy. We only have 315 health. So we are still a glass canyon, which at legendary difficulty, once you get spec'd up and leveled up and everything, you're doing a lot of damage. Most characters are glass canyon characters, unless you just pour in every attribute point into health. Capped armor rating helps too. Okay, we're not going to outrun a saber cat here. I do want to see how... Yeah, okay, we're good. About 10% health from one attack from a saber cat. Which is good. Wanted to see how that kind of survivability was there too. I want to test myself against a bear attack too. Oh, where the hell did my horse go? There he is. Who are you fighting? Are you fighting that Irish elk? Oh, I must have hit the elk with my Discord spell, infuriated him, which made him enter combat with me. Whatevs. If Lucian wants to deal with that on his own, he can. Caladran. Welcome, welcome. Sorry I got a little bit of a frog in my throat today. So I did a little bit of a grocery shopping trip to Costco today. Or not today, yesterday. And I decided, what the hell, I'll go ahead and pick up a pizza for dinner. Because it was getting late and I didn't have any time or will to cook. So I got a Costco pizza and ate some of that. I also got some chocolate chip cookies from the bakery. So I ate some of those. It was not the proudest moment of my life. Am I going the right way? Yeah. All the pizza and cookies. But you know what? Every once in a while you need to indulge yourself. And I did. But I'm suffering the aftermath of that now. I'm very phlegmy. Sorry to everybody who has to hear me cough and grumble. Just watched a video from Bellasaurus last night where he had a non-magical build that leans heavily on alchemy and resist magic. You may want to check... Oh, yeah, that's the Mage Hunter. I watched that last night, actually, as my evening's entertainment. I watch pretty much everything Belly does, like, when he... whenever he posts.
No! Go ahead, try and fight back.
Let Talsgar get out of the way so we don't fury him. I kind of like the Spellblade, playstyle with the Bard. When I do my official Bard build at some point, I think I'm going to ditch the dual wield stuff for the Spellblade style. I think it just works better with some kind of, especially if you have like spell packs that add a little more utility to the illusion school. You can, there's always a spell that will make an impact in the fight that you can have in that offhand. And with enchanting and alchemy, you can do plenty of damage output with just a single one-handed blade. Did you get sick or something? No, I just, when I eat a lot of dairy or like fatty foods, I get an accumulation of just gunk in my throat. I don't know. It's a known thing, especially with like dairy. I don't know exactly what causes it. No, I'm not sick. But I did indulge in too much rich food, and unfortunately that's what happens to me when I have too much rich food, is I get coffee. And not like C-O-F-F-E-E, like C-O-U-G-H-Y. Okay, here's a bear. I wanted to check how resilient we are against bear attacks. Okay, not as resilient as I would like, but not too bad. About 10% per swipe there. We're not in stabbing Gabbin status where 2 hits from a bear will kill us. So that's good. Now where did my damn horse go? I'm gonna need to favorite the horse whistle power here. There she is. Where am I going? To the left.
Lucian, why don't you hop up and ride behind me? Oh, why? Sorry.
Well, you could if you wanted to. Just as long as we don't make eye contact while we're nuts to butts there. I think we're all good. But you refuse to. I just asked you if you wanted to ride, and you're like, I don't know how, and I'm not gonna learn. I'm like, all right. So then you get to run along behind me. I would have bought you a horse. Would have done it. You refused. Who's this bozo? Oh, a thief? Nope. You either come and fight me like a man, or you run away, but you're not going to try to talk me out of my money. That's not going to happen. Yeah, you know what? We could use some enchantment fodder. How about that? Leave him here sizzling and without dignity. Okay, we'll go on foot from here on out. Still got to think of a name for our horse, too. Organum's dagger looks amazing. Yeah, so to me, this looks like the Blades of Chaos. Oh, I didn't even pick that up, did I? This looks like one of the Blades of Chaos from the God of War games. And if I ever do a Kratos build, which I hope I get around to, then I'll be dual wielding these and have some kind of spell scribe hooked up to like fire blasts or something like that. Along with a frost enchanted axe for the Leviathan axe. Reminds me of the Blades of Chaos. Oh, nice. Yeah, sometimes there's still a slight delay on chat. Yeah, sometimes we cross the thought streams a little bit. Ooh. So these hanging taproot here are usually a sign of hag ravens. Trying to lure Spriggans in, I think, so that they can use their body parts for alchemy ingredients. Okay, so I feel like to balance the difficulty out a little bit, I don't want to use the lab skeever technique anymore, where we boost up our character that way, because we're already boosted. The only thing that we're weak to is magic right now. So let's do that and just try to make it quick. I think potions only last a minute without lab skeever. Does it seem like a huge one? Could just be me being slow seeing the message. It had been pretty quick recently. Minute 20, so 90 seconds it looks like. And I do have a lot more of those. Ooh, I did make some lockpicking potions. I remembered. Recently finished God of War Ghost of Sparta. I've never played that one. I played God of War 1. I never played God of War 2, but I did play God of War 3. And then I played the 2016 God of War, and then God of War Ragnarok recently, both on PS5. Awesome games. I should go back and do all the older ones that I missed too. Ghost of Sparta, was that one of the PSP ones? Imagine not taking an advantage. Fortify lockpicking. There we go. I don't know why I'm using a fortify lockpicking potion on a novice lock. Coming down here, Trolly Troll. Come take your medicine, troll. He's already regenerated. That fire ought to take some of the fight out of him there, huh? More trolls somewhere here. How we doing? 22 seconds. All right, let's make this quick, and then we'll have to refresh our potions after this. PSP, yeah. Okay, I thought so. Yeah, there was Chains of Olympus, and I think Ghost of Sparta were the two PSP ones. God of War 1 and 2 were on the PS2. God of War 3 was on the PS3. God of War 2016 was on PS4. God of War Ragnarok. Ouch. Okay, yeah, we are still kind of weak to fire there. 99% progress on Discord now, too. Oop, we're T-posing. Speaking of God of War, I am running the Leviathan Axe mod that adds a lot of different things to the world space. That has since been hidden on the Nexus, so I can't tell you which one it was. It was part of the Novus guide a couple years ago when I last did my modding efforts, my remodding efforts anyway. Last reinstalled my game, I should say. Oh. Sorry, Lucy. And there goes Discord. So now we have a perk to use on Discord. The spell, not the chat service. Let's go ahead and do that. Which mod? It's I'll have to back out of the game to show you my mod profile. It's a Leviathan Axe weapon mod styled from the God of War, and it adds a bunch of different world space places. Like there are different forges, there are realm gates for fast travel, a bunch of stuff like that. And I went to go see if he had, because it's hard to find certain things on it. So the axe itself is very well hidden out in the Sea of Ghosts. And I was trying to find where that was, so I tried to pull up the mod page, and I found out that it was hidden because the mod author wanted to make some fixes to it and just didn't have time, so he had hidden it in the meantime. And I haven't had a problem with it. I haven't used it a whole bunch, but... So I don't know. Leviathan Axe. Oh, did he open it back up recently? Because it was just maybe a month or two ago that I checked because I was trying to find some information on it and he had it hidden. And now I know that there are probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 different Leviathan Axe. Leviathan Axe mods. This one's cool because it allows you to find materials out in the world that add different like effects to the weapons, so you don't have to be skilled in the enchanting skill to be able to add different effects to the axe, and then you can add like different pommels to it, different grips and things like that. It's really cool. It was really faithful to how it was in the God of War game. Okay, what do we want for Discord here? Affects a wider area at a higher cost. I don't really think that the limited splash damage is an issue. Affects higher level targets. That could be really good. Recklessness reduces armor effectiveness of all targets. That could be really good too. Distracts spellcasters, reducing magicka for each target. Maybe. Restores magicka. Reduces magic resistance for all targets. Chance of staggering each target. Reduces stamina for each target. Okay, I think obviously it's the consuming rage one, the higher level target, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now what's next here? Oh, Phantom Shroud we don't have. Cursed Rune, we're getting pretty close on. Maybe we use Cursed Rune now. Try to get that one leveled up. We do have Phantom Armor we could be using too, but we just don't need it. Okay. Need to refavorite some Resist Fire. Hey, Aster. Welcome, welcome. Oh, not still. It's still hidden, but it's part of the Skyrim guide. I gotcha. I mean, you can probably still get the archive of it if you know the exact URL, but I don't. Okay. Now let's see. I feel like I've been in there. I feel like I've been in here. Let me check just real quick. I think this is where we came from. Yeah, we've been in here. Going from left to right on the bottom level, and then I'll go right to left on the top level.
Ugh. I can think of more pleasant things to fetch than severed witch heads.
Yeah, right?
Oh well, it's for a good cause.
Oh, this is where we came in at.
Kodlak his present.
Give Kodlak his present. There are 5 of these witches, right? If I'm not mistaken. Sorry, trying to rush a little bit because I don't want to lose the effect of my resist fire potion there.
Nope, I'm very much out of here. My, you're ugly, aren't you?
Lots of good alchemical ingredients to go with that. And I think that there is a shrine to her scene in here too. Grizzly Spectacle. I think I know that one already. Destruction skill book, indeed. Alan Cook. Hey, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so for those of us just joining, I think I've broken my character and I've broken my game in a good way. We have a gear change, obviously, so just a refresher on where this character is going now. He's decided to lean into the werewolf thing. He's become a literal monster, so he's going to act the part. And he's now known as the Midnight Bard, this black cloaked character, bard that comes and rides into town at midnight and plays songs of violence and horror for the patrons who are still awake. So I have contracted Eorland to build me out some unenchanted contractor armor, which is what we're seeing right now. I have also leveled up smithing a bit, but used our skill in enchanting and alchemy to create some crafting gear that I was then able to temper this stuff up. And now I'm well over the armor cap. So we have our armor capped out. I was also able to do the same thing with some new weapons, namely our Beast's Hunger blade here that we have in our offhand if we're going to be dual wielding, which absorbs armor and absorbs health. And then we've traded out Dawnbreaker for what we're calling Meridia's Rage, which actually needs to be recharged. That's going to be the drawback of this. Dawnbreaker has a ton of charge in it. It rarely needed to be recharged. This thing needs to be recharged all the time. So this one does kind of similar to what Dawnbreaker would do. It does an everlasting burn effect until combat ends, and then undead up to level 35 flee for 30 seconds. And I gave Dawnbreaker to Lucian, but he's more of a ranged guy. See, he has it on him. I don't know that I've actually seen him use it that much, though. So, at this point, we are completely overpowered. I don't even need to use my Lab Skeever trick anymore, just as long as I remember, because I'm still weak to strong magical attacks. Just as long as I remember to take my potions before I enter a fight with a mage, I should be good. So at this point, there's not a ton of tension because I'm not afraid of any of the enemies in this game anymore. So we're going to be focused on giving this guy a suitable ending. Cursed Rune casting Doppelganger on these guys, huh? Nice, I like it. So that involves first focusing on completing the Companion's quest line, and then after that we'll do the Dawn Guard quest line. We'll defeat Harkin because we still are Meridia's champion, and Duras is not fickle. He used to be a Reaver, and he's traded that in for the life of a Bard. But other than that, he doesn't really change his mind much on his loyalties, right? So I couldn't really see him becoming a vampire. I mean, I can with the darkness aspect of everything, but with his so okay, here's all the considerations I had and why I chose not becoming a vampire above becoming a vampire. So as a bard, Duras is a very social person. He is the antithesis of sneaky, right? He's the opposite of a sneaky character. He thrives in social situations. He needs to be heard. He needs an audience to tell his stories to and to sing his songs to. Otherwise, what's this all about? So I can't really see him living a life in solitude as a vampire usually is. Another thing of that, like an extension of that, is that Duras is a big personality as a bard and needs to be heard, needs to be seen. Therefore, he's never going to be a sneaky character, and you need to be sneaky in order to feed. For the most part. Now, there are some things in Sacrosanct that allow you to be more of like a blood warrior, blood knight, like Icarus plays on one of his characters, to where you can integrate feeding into combat a little better, or through illusion spells. That's fine too. But the whole sneaking around and drinking people's blood thing, living a life of seclusion because of what he is, just really didn't fit with it. And then I was thinking about the whole Meridia thing. We still were wielding Dawnbreaker up until just last stream, and we still carry Meridia's namesake on our belt, and we wield a blade in Meridia's name still. So we're still very anti-undead. So because of all of that, I figured, you know what, I can't really see this character becoming a vampire. Werewolf is fine, because he is savage.
What was that?
The Companions is a good place to be because he is, because they are storied, they have a lot of history. There's a lot of lyric fodder there. A lot of story fodder for him to sing his songs. Ooh, okay, we took a power attack, took almost a third of our health. We still are squishy. We don't have a ton of health. We do have a good amount of armor. Is there anyone else up here? I thought there were more than 3 guys. Did he fall down? Sometimes they do fall down here. Oh, there he is. You are kind of a dumb one, aren't you? Typical orc.
Found you.
So another nice thing about this cursed rune here is that it does have a soul trap effect on it too. And I've been collecting empty soul gems, black and grand soul gems. I do have Azura's star on me too, although it's repaired. It's not the black star now. So we do have lots of gems to fill, which you know, I don't really need to enchant anything else. Maybe if I want to enchant a killer set of gear for Lucian, I can do that. But that's kind of unnecessary. Wife is texting me. She was on a business trip to New York. Fancy pants. So now she's just telling me that everything's on time. Great, see you in a few hours. Yeah, I've been without my wife for the last 2 weeks, week and a half. Which is exactly as fun as it sounds for, you know, maybe 3 or 4 days, and then it's like, the house starts to feel really big and really empty. I miss my wife. I know I talk a lot of trash about her and everything, but that's how we do. And I do love her, and I do miss her, and I am going to be very happy to have her back. Okay, I got the, oh no, I didn't get the chest up here. Aw, yeah. Ooh, there's another black soul gem we can use. The black star is evil. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't always see it in terms of black and white. Pardon the pun. Black souls, white souls, you know. I don't know. Certain characters it makes more sense for. Let's go ahead and take care of this bandit chief while we're down here.
Is someone there?
No.
Ow.
Empty house, getting lonesome. Hope she makes it back soon then, man. Yeah, she's on her way back now. She just texted me to say that her flight was on time and everything. So it's 12 p.m. now. I should see her just before 7 p.m. my time. So another 7 hours. And I'm good. I'm really not the lonely type at all. Before I met my wife and we moved in together, I think I have that enchantment already. I don't know if I have magic resistance. I think I do. Before I met my wife and we moved in together, oh, this was like 12 years ago now. I lived alone for a long time. Like, I want to say like 5 or 6 years. And I always say it was some of the best years of my life. It gave me a chance to really focus on myself and make myself better, and do a lot of things that were really healthy for me. And I always recommend that instead of rushing into a committed relationship, I mean, if you found the one, you found the one, right? There's no way to really be sure until you've been with that person for a long time, but you know, quick relationships can work well for a lot of people, and they have worked well for a lot of people. But I always recommend, you know, try to take a few years and spend them by yourself and work on yourself, get to know yourself, and then you'll be a better self for the person that you meet in the long run, right? I mean, it's also easy to languish when you're alone too, so you got to be careful not to do that. What? I know I love you too. My little dog over here asking for food all the time. Oh, you're just the cutest dog. Okay. All right. Sorry, the dog's yipping at me. You can probably hear it back there. I'll be right back. I just got to get the dog a quick snack. I have to appease the beast, IRL. And I'm back. Ah, good point, Zeus. Yeah, I mean, at least the Daedra are interested in mortals, even if they do see them as pawns. At least some of them are more fair and just than others. I feel like the gods, the divines anyway, they tend to be a little more benevolent toward mortals than the Daedra do in general. Not always, but in general. Did I feed on the chief out here? I don't think I did. And while the Daedra do seem more interested in mortal kind, want to be more involved in them, they also tend to be a little more tricky, a little less benevolent in general. But there are pros and cons to both of them. I don't see them as good and evil as probably a lot of the casual fans do. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that. Daedra can be good, divines can be bad, depending on the perspective, the eye of the beholder, and how they have affected you personally, or the character personally. Even the quote-unquote, like, good Daedra, like Meridia, she's very black and white about the undead. She is undead bad, living good. And, like, the vigilance of Stendarr are the same way, right? So Meridia and Stendarr, the vigilance, should be very aligned in their goals. They should get along, right? But no, the vigilance of Stendarr are very black and white about Daedra worship. You worship a Daedra, even if it's Meridia, then you gotta die. I think the true good lies in between, in the shades of gray, right? That's where the acceptance and then the tolerance and being able to see people as good regardless of whether or not your beliefs and your ideals line up with each other. It's like, okay, you can do good and do things that I don't believe in or don't agree with. Kind of it kind of becomes like a mimic of our current political climate too, right? I don't want to get into a political conversation, please don't. I just was finding it interesting. Uh-oh. Okay, speaking of vigilance of Stendar, them not being good. We didn't mean to kill that guy. He just kind of got caught up in our rune, the splash damage from our rune. But we're not going to lose any sleep over it. Hear strange whispers. Do I really want to clear out Fort Sungard here? I really want to get through. Yeah, no, I'm going to make an executive call here. I really want to get through the Companion's quest line here. So let's just make a beeline back to... In fact, this is already well-traveled area. I'm just gonna skedoodle back. The Vigilants are hypocrites and are the worst. Meridia, Merid Nunda, in the Elder Tongue, is a Magna Gi, a child of Magnus, but because she had a relationship with the Daedra, Magnus cast her into oblivion. Well, yeah, so she's not an OG Daedric prince then, right? She's just kind of like one of the high up OG gods that was canoodling with the dark side, quote unquote. So was cast out. That's funny because she's very black and white about the undead thing, but her circumstance is a consequence of her, I guess, superior being very black and white about her situation too.
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice
About the Daedra.
or a tender rack of ribs.
Smith in Skyrim.
Okay, now we just need to get back to Kodlak with these heads and we're home free, right? Right? Right.
The silver
These two aren't the problem.
finally had the nerve to attack your vassal.
Because she practically created Mayrunes? Well, Mayrunes is tough. Mayrunes is necessary also, in some regards. You can't start anew without destroying the old, right? So there's a certain amount of shades of gray, even with Mayrune's Dagon.
Where have you been?
I was doing Kodlak's bidding.
I hope it was important, because it means you weren't here to defend him.
Matter of his immortal soul, so yeah, it was pretty
They
important.
finally found enough courage to attack your Vasker. We fought them off, but the old man, Kodlak, is dead.
Oh boy. So first Skjor, now Kodlak. Was anyone else hurt?
No, but they made off with all our fragments of Wuthrad. But you and I are going to reclaim them. We will bring the battle to their chief camp. There will be none left living to tell their stories.
Hope we
Only
see another
sons of
sector like
your
the Vigilance,
master
but are
will be
actually
sung.
worthy and not useless
We
or
will
lazy
avenge
in
Kodlak,
ES6.
And they will know
I just
terror
hope-
before the end.
There aren't too many half-baked factions. Like in
There's no doubt that
Skyrim...
the Silver Hand
Oh no,
deserve
what happened
everything
here?
that's coming
Oh,
to
that's
them.
another silver hand.
Let's try not to let vengeance blind us. It's
Are you
what
kidding?
Kodlak would want.
No, Kodlak explicitly asked us for vengeance on the witches here. On the Glenmoral witches. I don't think Kodlak would be opposed to a little bit of vengeance, especially if we can wipe these fuckers out once and for all. Yeah, so half-baked factions. The Silverhand, actually. Now, there have been some awesome videos by, I think, Camelworks, tried to flesh out what was going on with the Silverhand and why they're so consumed with getting the fragments of Wuthrad, and why they're so anti-werewolf and anti-companions. And he suspected that it was because they were a splinter group, a splinter cell of the companions that broke off when the werewolves, when the beast blood became a thing, which makes a lot of sense, but I really wish that was more fleshed out. The Bard's College, that should have been like a faction. At least give me a place to sleep in the Bard's College, right? More things to do as far as like research on history and stuff goes. Maybe some more skill training. That would have been nice. The Vigilance of Stendar. I know there's an awesome mod. Oh, Aethys went down. There's an awesome mod about the Vigilant. But it's never going to be something that's like going to be as good or as integrated as something that would have come from BGS itself, right? Time we got 6:58, and then where are we supposed to go? Oh, all the way up here. Okay, we've been up here too. All right, we'll take a ride to Dawnstar.
Don't leave any of them alive.
There's a mod called Conflict under the Crescent Moon, which fleshes out the Silverhand. Nice. I agree. I wish we could have joined the Silverhand. You know, I always thought that the Silverhand were actually part of the Companions as well, but did not accept the Beast Blood and disbanded. Yeah, that's exactly what Camel... I think it was Camelworks. It may have been something like Fudge Muppet too. But it sounds like a Camelworks conspiracy theory, right? It just kind of stinks of Camelworks conspiracy. I like it. Practically, that's what happened. Yeah, that's our best running theory anyway, right?
Why sure is that a Zora star?
And I don't know if I
possess such a rare treasure.
So much need to be able to join the Silverhand, as you said, Icarus, but maybe an option in the Companion's quest line to be able to supplant or at least integrate the Silverhand back into the Companions would have been awesome.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
We are going to Dawnstar, my friend.
And back, and we'll be off.
Will do.
Get up there.
I watched this video on Kim and had an aneurysm. Yeah, Camel, he goes out there. He's kind of a space cadet every now and then. The stuff about the Augur of Dunlane. The guy goes deep. And a lot of it, I think, is stuff that's manufactured in his own brain that, like, even BGS never really meant anything to come of it. Okay, so let's see, 8 p.m. We should be able to go wipe out the Silverhand in this place. Driftshade Refuge. Already wiped Fort Fellhammer, right? So let's go do that, and by the time we're done there, it should be right around midnight, and we can play at Dawnstar, at the Dawnstar Inn. Hopefully, if what's her name's not playing. Yeah, so it's another one of those, like, I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 hours long about a character that has so little information about him that, like, maybe you're not supposed to know much about him. But it is interesting, and he does have some compelling arguments, but I don't know. A lot of Camel stuff I put on the same level as like a QAnon conspiracy theory, so I mean, take it all with a huge grain of salt, but it is at the very least entertaining, right? And he goes really deep into lore and like game files and stuff like that. So even if a lot of it is like half-baked and tinfoil hat shit, it's you learn something from it. 100% of the time, you learn something about it you didn't know before. Haven't watched his Augur video yet. I think most of what he's saying on topics like this are meant to just be theories. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of this stuff is born out of a lack of a new game. We haven't had an Elder Scrolls game now for 12 years. It's going on 12 years. People who play Assassin's Creed have had so many games, and you know, a lot of them are hit or miss, but they're all pretty much quality, at least eventually, right? Vilkis, are you joining us for the hunt over here? It'd be awesome to have you by my side, bud. So it's like a lot of it, like it's the same shit with the Starfield speculation stuff about how, you know, there was supposed to be like a drop on the showcase this week, and it never happened. It's like people are putting like so much stock into these like quote-unquote insider reports and stuff like that just because BGS themselves have been so quiet for so long, and we want a game. We want a new game. So we're willing to entertain like these crazy possibilities, and we go really far out of our way to entertain ourselves with these games. I mean, basically that's what modding is, right? Modding is, I need my horse whistle, is a way to get more out of this favorite game almost entirely because of the lack of, where's my horse whistle? I am not seeing that thing. I'm sure I favorited it. Maybe I didn't. I was sure I did. Guess not. Wait, people mod their games? Yeah, the whole modding community is because it's like we're sick of waiting for BGS to release a new damn game, so we have to make our own new damn game out of the old damn game. So it's, I don't know, it's hard. And you don't want them to crank things out necessarily like they do with Assassin's Creed, but there's got to be a happy middle ground, right? And that hint for Enderall? Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think ES6 may expand on things as much as we think. No, probably not. They're going to have a deadline. I'm hoping that they're able to flesh some things out a little bit more, because a lot of their engine improvements and stuff they're doing for Starfield, so they won't have to spend as much time on the engine for the Elder Scrolls 6 development. So the amount of time that they're taking on Skyrim is crap. I still got a lot of shit that I gotta get offload. I feel like I offloaded all my alchemical ingredients and then I just grabbed them all back because I got distracted by chat. Do we know if it's going to be on the new? Are you talking about? No, Elder Scrolls 6 will not be on Unreal Engine. It'll be their creation kit 2.0, creation engine 2.0. It'll be the same engine they're using for Starfield, unless they make a drastic change. But I hope they don't change to Unreal Engine. That would be terrible. They would. immediately lose all of the identity of their BGS games, and I don't want them to do that. I thought I sold this off. Guess maybe I didn't. If they change to Unreal Engine, it would cease to be a BGS game, I think. A lot of the look and feel of a BGS game is in the engine. Fallout is the creation engine. Skyrim is the creation engine. And the creation engine is easy to learn. The modding community has been learning it on their own for a really long time with very little input from BGS themselves. So it's not a problem of onboarding. You can overhaul systems. Oh, I feel like I chased some whispers up here at some point. So I feel like this place is mostly cleared out already. I think last stream we came up here after Fort Fellhammer. Cleared most of this place out. Oh no, this is Fort Fellhammer. Doi. Okay. I was like, I feel like we just did this last stream. Oh, there's Left-Handed Jedi. I don't think I said hello to you. Didn't see you come in. I want to see the Tarantino kid as the leader of the Dark Brother. That would be sick, right? Did I level up Cursed Rune yet? I feel like I did, but maybe I didn't. Just wonder how much of a time jump ES6 will be. I don't know. I feel like Oblivion, at least. Okay, so we're still working on that next perk for Cursed Rune. I feel like Oblivion left things pretty tied up. It had a pretty strong ending, right? Skyrim didn't. Okay, we saved the world a couple times, right? But the Great War, the Second Great War, is still simmering. It's on its way. It's coming. Things are still very much in the air as to the state of the Empire, and you know whether or not the Thalmor are gonna officially take hold. Take control of everything, you know.
I love a challenge. You can't win this.
So yeah, the Thalmor stuff, the Second Great War that's impending, there's still a lot of stuff up in the air that Oblivion didn't really have. So they still have a lot of questions to answer, and they can do that in lore and history books and things like that, dialogues and quest lines and stuff like that to learn what had happened. But I feel like they could just, you know, 5-10 years down the line, 5 years down the line maybe, as things are going, depending on how the Civil War actually shook out canonically, they could have a full sequel and be able to just, it would basically be Skyrim 2 at that point, which Elder Scrolls fans hate, but like casual Elder Scrolls fans, like Skyrim fans, legitimately think that the next game will be Skyrim 2. And you know, conceptually, it wouldn't be very far from that, right?
Get it? Because it's snowing. Tough crowd.
Mercy on you.
So there's enough there that you could just continue right on from Skyrim. And since the Thalmor are still fighting with the Red Guards in Hammerfell, there's a lot of juice there. There's a lot of juice left over there. Now, I would hope that they would kind of move on to something else, because we've been playing Skyrim now for 11 years, 12 years, and I want something new. I want a new storyline. Just tell me how this one ended in a book somewhere or in a quest line, and let's explore some new subject material. Oops, killed your familiar there, Lucian. Sorry, bud. Oh, the doppelganger's fighting me now. Race-specific guilds, that would be cool. I don't think they're going to go the Thalmor way, because that would cause a Fallout situation, or even worse, a second coming of Alduin. Yeah, it's been done to death already. I've never played Morrowind. I started with Oblivion, and unfortunately, it's hard for me to go back to Oblivion now after playing Skyrim and Fallout 4 for so long. Just the drop technologically and gameplay-wise is really tough to deal with. So going all the way back to Morrowind.
I'll show you a real.
You're certainly a big old chap.
Would be even harder, I think. I've been down to. I was talking about how pretty much invincible this guy was at this point, and I've been down to 50% health twice.
I didn't think so.
Did you get calmed? I've been down to 50% twice in this dungeon so far, so maybe I'm not quite as OP as I thought I was. I'm also not using the lab skeever trick with the mortar and pestle either. Or mortar and pestle, I guess is how you actually pronounce that. Redguard Sword Singers would be awesome, right? And I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. Yeah, I think Alakir would be a major faction that we're going to be able to... I think it's a foregone conclusion that it's Hammerfell, right? I'm holding out hope for an expansion into the Iliac Bay and High Rock. We haven't really seen much of High Rock in a game. Although, I guess High Rock would be more classical, like European style high fantasy. And they kind of did that with the Cyrodiil province in Oblivion, right? That's kind of, that trope is kind of explored. Now, I was born and raised here in Arizona in the desert, right? In one of the hottest places in the world. So, desert landscape to me is extremely non-compelling. So I'm hoping it's the biomes there aren't so homogenous that it's just desert everywhere. So to me, Hammerfell is like the least compelling, just because of where I'm from and the biomes that I'm exposed to.
Try and make this quick.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot more voices than the enemies that I'm seeing. But that being said, I love Redguard lore. The Redguard race is fascinating to me with their history with the Sword Singers, the Alakir, the Ashaba are amazing. I would love to be able to play through some of that stuff without, just trying to do it myself via mods or builds or things like that in Skyrim. Having some actual official, like, built-in mechanics for that stuff and quest lines, that would be awesome. I just hope the biomes offer a little more than just desert landscapes. Ooh, a third of my life from the one crossbow bolt there.
Ow, ow, ow.
Or a true Dunmer. Vilkas, Dunmer also. You like Dunmer, right? Started with Oblivion as well, and I share your viewpoint regarding older TES games. Yeah. some people don't care as much about the gameplay. I do. I'm really more of an action arcade style type of gamer. If I'm not playing Skyrim, I'm playing things like, you know, Resident Evil, even side-scrolling stuff I'm playing, like God of War I'm playing. I love RPG elements in an action game. Elder Scrolls games, though, if you're willing to deal with like some of the bad gameplay in the older games, it's going to give you some of the most open-ended at the beginning and at the end character development in terms of being able to create your own character concept. You can have any kind of origin story you want because there's always a generic beginning, and there's always an open-ended ending to it. So you can make up your own ending story for the character too. And with modding tools, and the wide open class systems in a lot of them, like even with Oblivion and Morrowind and everything, you were able to create custom classes. Gameplay wise, and the way that your character actually works functionally is very open-ended as well. It's some of the most open-ending character creation, character concept, character progression systems in all of gaming. I would argue the most open-ended in pretty much every way. Oh, we'll also be weak to traps too, so I gotta watch out for those. To get this strong for this long and to just die to a trap would be awful, right? You like the gameplay in Morrowind? I mean, that's fine. To me, it was like playing The Witcher 1 and even The Witcher 2 and even The Witcher 3 at some points. I only ever stopped playing... Well, I beat The Witcher 1 because it wasn't a very long game. But for The Witcher 3, that is a very long game, and the gameplay loops are not that good, so I never really finished it. It's an amazing game with an amazing story. Geralt is an amazing character if you're looking for like character-specific like role-play games. I don't fault you at all for loving the hell out of The Witcher 3. I wouldn't fault you at all for that being like your favorite game in the entire world. But for me, after 80 hours, I just couldn't deal with the gameplay loop anymore. For me, Fallout 4 was a much more enjoyable game. I can play that for hundreds and hundreds of hours and not get bored because I like the gameplay loop. I like the crafting systems. I like the exploration. Cyberpunk is exactly the same way. While technically on a narrative level and on a writing level, The Witcher 3 is better than both of those. I would much rather play either one over The Witcher 3. That's my hot take. I need that gameplay. You know? Ouch. Wow, a third of my life from one shot from a one-handed blade. Okay. So this isn't as brain-dead easy as I was thinking at the beginning of this episode. You heard of Two Worlds? I have, yes. That's an older RPG. That was, I want to say that was like PlayStation 2, Xbox One era. Or was that PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation? Now, if you're a PC player primarily, it's like the console generations have... Like, they have no meaning for you, but I grew up as a console player. So, like, the generations of gaming for me are defined by the console generations. Love Two Worlds. Yeah, Two Worlds 2 was also fun. I've never played them. There are a lot of games that I have never played because when I find a game that I like, I usually play it a lot. Right now, my crack is Skyrim, obviously. I've never really stopped playing that. That's always stayed compelling to me. Fallout 4, I love. Cyberpunk 2077 within the last 5 years has been my favorite game.
What was that?
I do play a lot of other games, but they tend to be AAA action games. Like I'm playing Hogwarts. When Hogwarts is done, I'm going to be playing that Resident Evil 4 remake. That looks so sick.
That's the end of that.
And then so much stuff comes out. Oh, I thought somebody was shooting something at me. He was trying to buff me. Sorry, Lucian. Final Fantasy 16 looks absolutely amazing. Diablo 4 looks amazing. I feel like Starfield's going to come out right around the June timeline too, if they don't delay it. I don't think they will. A lot of people in their heart of hearts feel like it's going to get delayed, but every piece of actual information says it's not. So I feel like Final Fantasy 16, Diablo 4, and Starfield are all going to come out in the same kind of release window, and I'm going to be like, all right, what the hell am I going to play now? Oh yeah, it absolutely would. Resident Evil 2, the remake, was one of my favorite games, top 5 game all time easily for me. And Resident Evil 2 the original one has a special place in my heart because that was the first game I bought with my own money from my first actual job. I went to it was called Gamers here. It was a dedicated mom and pop game store. God damn it. And I bought a used copy of Resident Evil 2 for myself for my PlayStation 1. And that game was amazing. The remake was head and shoulders beyond what the original was. And that's saying a lot. I feel like because Resident Evil 4 was even that much better than Resident Evil 2, but I feel like since it's a newer game than Resident Evil 2 was, there's not quite as much. Oh, damn it. I didn't want to sit at the table. I wanted to pick up the fragments of Wuthrad. Damn it. How come I can't pick that up? Talking about how awesome Skyrim gameplay is here, and completely, and how they better not nix the creation engine. Now I can't even get the damn fragments there to activate in my cursor. Completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, since the time between Resident Evil 4 and the remake is so much smaller than it was for Resident Evil 2, I don't feel like they're going to be able to overhaul that much more. It's going to be a better facelift. They're gonna put some more actiony elements with like the dodge and the parry mechanics, which you know I'm a big fan of, in there. That beyond that and some pacing things, I don't feel like they're going to be able to overhaul all that much with the game. But I'm hoping to be wrong. Resident Evil 4 on something like an emulator is impossible. I think RE4 Remake has to be, yeah. How's the mods for Cyberpunk? They are good. They're a lot better than you would expect for being a non-BGS game. Things like flying cars, cutting room floor style mods of all the stuff that they cut as far as like wall running, mantis blades, like being able to scale walls with those. The metro system being re-enabled so you can actually take a ride on the elevated train. Romance options, a lot of stuff like followers and stuff. Even there's a lot of modding support from CDPR for Cyberpunk. For me though, the build craft in that game is so wide that I don't really need it yet. Anyway, I've probably got 300 or 400 hours in Cyberpunk right now, but it's all been vanilla game, and I still have more to explore in it. And I do want to do some like not as in-depth build guides as I do for Skyrim, but I do want to do some like maybe quick hitter build guides for Cyberpunk as well. Guy's missing some limbs. And I think that's why I love it so much, even if the bugs piss me off. Skyrim will always be Skyrim, no matter what you do to it. Yeah, pretty much. And then that's the stink of the creation engine. That's why I'm saying I hope they don't move to Unreal Engine, like it seems like all the other big studios are doing. Because I want that Elder Scrolls feel. I want that BGS stink. I don't want to have to learn Unreal Engine just to be able to mod the game, and I don't want to lose like the whole tangible aspect of the whole game. It's like every single object, we make a lot more use in these games of dynamic objects, right? Stuff that'll fall over if you run into it. Like all these bottles and stuff. Most games, most Unreal Engine games too, will have those as statics. And like housing mods like Eleonora's houses and stuff, they make a lot more use of like the statics because they're more performance friendly. But most Unreal Engine games, they don't. It's technically possible, but it's not as ingrained into the DNA of the engine as it is for the creation engine. So I was happy to hear them going to, like, upgrading their creation engine and going to creation engine 2.0 for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 as opposed to going to Unreal like CD Projekt Red did. I like the Red engine. I thought Cyberpunk, it was buggy as hell when it came out, especially on last gen systems, but it looks great. Its ray tracing implementation is phenomenal, like maybe the best I've ever seen in any engine. The gameplay in Cyberpunk is fantastic. The performance is really good, especially for an open world game with that level of effects. The whole reason that they went to Unreal, it was not because it's a better engine, but because more people know it. They wanted to be able to onboard more developers more easily. And they couldn't do that with a custom engine. Which tells me that the Red engine was probably very hard to learn. The creation engine, not so much, because of that's a big reason for the thriving community. The thriving modding community is that its engine is so easy to learn that I don't think BGS has the same issue. And I feel like they're more efficient with their own engine than maybe CD Projekt Red was, in terms of building up a world and everything. How's the Druid build going? Great. So the next video, probably not this week, but the week after, will just be a quick one about the role that the werewolf form plays in the Druid build. And then after that, we'll do a quick vignette on the Horned Lord form in a similar vein. And then after that, I'll probably need a couple more weeks to flesh out the actual build guide, the actual full build guide. So we're probably looking another month or so before that build guide is released. But
you do know where you're going, don't you?
I know exactly where I'm going, Lucian. I'm going crazy. So don't look for it like next week or anything. Next week I'll drip feed some content on the Druid out, just little bits and pieces of how the build operates, but the full build guide won't be out for another month or so. I am on another Skyrim kick right now, though, for what it's worth. So I had been playing some Hogwarts Legacy. Been playing some stuff with the PlayStation VR 2. But I have some ideas for how to tweak my mod lists going forward, and that's kind of given me like more motivation to spend more time in Skyrim. So I'm imagining it won't be much longer than that month that I've quoted you. Missed a body back there? Okay. I'm not going through the whole thing again. Wow, 3 perks from all those bodies. I like it. Get some extra health. What time is it? 11:19. Okay, Midnight Bard strikes again. Now I gotta think of a name for the name for the song that I'm gonna sing in Dawnstar here. Hey, Gail. Welcome, welcome. The horsey. Yeah, I do have horse whistle. Wait here for a second. Oh, the horsey? Oh, I ate the horse. I was able to eat the horse through the bars. The horse in the cage? Yeah, I got that one. This is the longest one. Previous was halfway through day 18, and this guy is very strong now. The Silverhand still are making things not very comfortable. Ah, there's our horse. Who are these guys? More Silverhand? Silverhand elites. Okay, this is from the Growl mod. And of course, now I have the doppelgangers fighting me for some reason.
Went pretty well, all things considered.
Elite my butt, am I right? Who are these whispers pointing me to now? Okay, we can go take care of those guys. There's actually an interesting NPC's character up there who's going to take care of most of these bad guys for us, I think. Don't remember her name. She's the clumsy warrior. Woo! All right. Oh, we got frozen mid-swing. Look at that.
Pay for that. I know your every move. Got your best.
Oh, this weather is tough, yeah? Let me help you out here. T-Crit, that's right. Oh, you gotta name the horse. Yeah, I gotta think of a name for the horse. Anybody got any ideas for the name on the horse?
I even had a plan too. I was going to charge in and catch them off guard. Take all the thinking out of it.
Great plan.
I on the stairs on the way up. Story of my life.
Yeah, in the heat of battle, things happen. What happened after you tripped?
I nearly fell over the edge before one of the bandits of all people pulled me back. Then the two of them started using my face as a target dummy.
Rinmar. Is that from something?
Room, I could slay
Glue stick? Macadamia. You're a glorious bastard, you know that?
Sometimes I feel like I'm fighting underwater. Nothing ever seems to go right.
So Rinmar is just straight from your brain, huh, Zeus? I think you need to pay more attention to your surroundings.
Good advice, but hard to take when there is so much of it. The surroundings. Can't keep track of it all and concentrate on my opponent.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll see you around, I guess.
Safe travels.
We already got Lucian in our band. We don't need anybody else. Do want to get the gold off of that one dude, though. Do more skooma? Oh, we'll do some skooma. I do have skooma. Boom. 3 bottles of it. Gonna have to replenish the supply of it soon. North. I don't want to go north. Back to Dawnstar. Jeez, what a side jaunt over here. Just want to get back to Dawnstar so I can play my song. Hey, horsey. What was it you said, Zeus? Was it Rimvar? I'm sorry, it's on the other screen. I can't get back there. Rinmar, that's right. Okay. I was thinking something, some kind of play on the name Almalexia, because wasn't Almalexia like supposed to be the patron of the arts in the triumvirate, or I mean the tribunal? For the horse's name, I mean. That's one thing that I missed not playing Morrowind is I'm not 100% on a lot of the lore that came from that game. Heckin' love the Dwarven Buckler. That's pretty cool looking, right? So I do have another character concept in my head. The Stormcloak Kindjal, which is a Stormcloak assassin. Uses a very long double-edged dagger and also uses a buckler. So the dagger can double as like an actual open melee weapon as much as it can a... the hell is going on here? As much as it can an assassination tool.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm bed.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart.
Okay, so as we are still a worshiper of Sanguine, let's get good and sauced. We'll even hit some of that skooma. Yeah, and a buckler will be featured in that build too, along with the warlock ring from the fishing creation club content. So whenever you block with any weapon, it'll bring up a ward for you, and I'll see if I can forward that ward effect from Odin so it's a little more useful than the vanilla one. And still fleshing some things out, but it got some roleplay juice on it too.
Yes.
All right, so now we have the Midnight Bard coming through the what's this place called? Wind Peak Inn. So one of the fated inn visits of the notorious, infamous Midnight Bard, here to sing a song about violence and werewolves and the Silver Hand Splinter Cell. of the companions. This one is called I Used the Silver Hand to Wipe My Butt. I kind of liked last stream's song better. The one that I titled I Became a Werewolf So I Could Lick Myself. She betrayed the Dunmer and her people? Oh, Almalexia would have been Boethia? I have to look into it. Haster here would know off the top of his head. There was Vivek, there was Almalexia, and then there was, what was the third one? Can't think of it. Alright, 1238. Sotha Sil was the other one. Yeah, I think Haster was telling me about a the patron saint of like the arts and poetry in the tribunal. Called Sylvie together. Okay. Kind of a mashup of all their names. I thought it was Almalexia who was the patron saint of the arts, right? In the tribunal.
Of course.
Laughed out loud at the song title. Yeah, that one I had to just come up with because I didn't have anything ready. Sometimes I'll like think about it.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Throughout the week. It's like, what am I gonna like have as my stupid song title this week?
I understand.
Yeah, really being pushed around here by everybody. What? Mine was way better than that trash. All right, I'm going to bed. Vivek was the warrior poet. Almalexia was called Mother Morrowind. Okay, so I was thinking Almalexia. I was wrong. And Sotha Sil was the eccentric but powerful wizard, an architect and machinist. Okay. Vivek was the warrior poet. So we gotta... I want to name the horse some play on the name Vivek. Vivectomy, maybe? I'll play on vasectomy. To portray DeRoss's love for sex but hate for children. Okay. So let's take a carriage ride back to... I think Jorvesker? Return to Jorvesker, yep. Vivectus. Vivectum in the rectum. Vivectum, barely even knew him. Phone is weirding out. Can't see chat. Okay. I really gotta like watch a video on like the full lore of Morrowind, the game. Everything that I like missed and only have been picking up through like context clues and UESP articles since. There's a lot of lore from things like Daggerfall and Arena, but a lot of it doesn't seem so impactful in the later games, right? You have Yegar Tharn, who was like a battle mage, and how the Empire was almost like, or like the Emperor was almost usurped by him. Daggerfall, I really don't know what went on there, but a lot of it doesn't seem like it has much impact on the modern Elder Scrolls world, right? Arena has even been decanonized as part of like a Dragon Break or something, I'm guessing, which is basically their lore mechanism for retrofitting, changing their own lore. Yeah, that's why Elder Scrolls lore, it's fascinating, but it's like, it's really hard to be a lore wonk because they change it all the time. They change their own lore constantly with pretty much every game, and they even have a mechanism for it that makes changing lore canon, and that's the Dragon Break. They can do anything they want with the past, present, or future through this Dragon Break mechanic. What the hell's going on here? So I go in the door for Jorvaskr, and then the quest marker says I need to leave Jorvaskr. Alright, maybe I'll just hang out here for a minute. This is annoying. Speaking of annoying, the hell am I supposed to do here? Let's talk to Ayla.
Something has shifted in the moons, brother.
What is it?
I've sensed the blood pulsing a little stronger of late. I had assumed you had as well. I think our potential is on the rise. Persine smiles on us. Let's not question too much. The more we feed, the greater our prowess will grow. We could perhaps discover even more gifts of Persine.
Okay, what's our next target then?
I've been hearing rumors of Silver Hand activity.
Oh, now I have an actual cursor. Maybe I just had to wait for Vilkas to show up. Yep, there he is. Vilkas, what's up, buddy?
Let's get back to Jorvaskr. We'll want to pay our respects to Kodlak's spirit.
Well, we are here.
Aren't you already running a job for Ayla? Come talk to me when you finish that up.
Did I bug this out? Looks like I have. Alright, well, I'll see you soon. I only heard of Dragon Breaks a couple hours ago watching Biggie Boss's latest upload. Friggin' hilarious. Yeah, right?
The others have probably prepared Kodlak's funeral by now. Come up to the Sky Forge to pay your respects. The others have
there we go.
prepared Kodlak's funeral by now. Come up to the Sky Forge to pay your respects.
Okay, will do. Alright, so that seems to have fixed itself. I probably should have talked to Vilkas when I killed the last Silver Hand at that fort.
Who will start?
I'll do it.
This is actually a very touching scene. I wish the questline was just a little bit longer. We had a little bit more time with Kodlak would have been nice. But this scene itself is really well written, really touching.
And for ourselves, we take
our leave.
It's quick, but I feel like this is like the perfect companion's funeral for like a beloved harbinger, right? It's quick, it's heartfelt, but they don't want to spend too much time grieving because they have more fighting to do.
Members of the Circle, let us withdraw to the Underforge to grieve our last together.
Do you have the fragments of Ruth?
I saw a clip where Serana started using the forge in this scene. Like, no, that's what it is. Yeah. Saw that too and thought the same thing. That's hilarious. Here you go.
Careful with those. Don't want even more fragments, do we? Of course, I have a small...
What am I going to do? Break Wuthred more?
There's another piece that Kodlak always kept close to himself. Would you go to his chambers and bring it back for me? I'm not sure I'm the best one to go through his things.
I'm not sure I'm the best one to go through his things either, but yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'll be here.
Oh, you know what? I should have taken the damn hood off as a show of respect for our fallen harbinger. Serana can be annoying anyway, so it kind of suits her. Serana is my favorite vanilla follower. And a lot of that comes down to her expanded mechanics, and a lot of that comes down to her sandboxing mechanics. Which, aside from Teldrin, she's the only vanilla follower who can sandbox in that way, and it just gives her a lot of life. But that also can be annoying too, right? Do some things that are out of character, or some things that are, you know, out of social norms. Some things that you wouldn't expect them to do. It's funny half the time, it's engaging the other half of the time, but I would rather have it than not. There's a fragment. Oh, and here's Kodlak's journal. Let's go ahead and read through that, huh? Just talking about wanting to enter Sovngarde. So we're going to redouble our efforts to see if we can still save Kodlak's soul from Hircine's hunting grounds. Even if some of the Circle would prefer to spend eternity doing that, we know that Kodlak didn't want to. And his wishes deserve to be respected. Teldrin Sero is your favorite vanilla follower? There you go. I like Teldrin too, though he can be a pansy at times. Ooh, those are fighting words. He hasn't been during my playthroughs. I've seen him take down dragons and Draugr Deathlord single-handedly.
Head down to the meadery later. See what you're brewing up.
You can also cure Farkas and Vilkas, but it has to be their choice.
Let me stew. Alone.
Okay, what am I doing here? You wanted me to come here. Oh, give the final fragment to Yorland. Doi, okay. So I'm getting sidetracked by chat. I blame you guys for my stupidity. I'm kidding. No, this is one of the hardest things to do when you stream a game is to be able to play the game well, keep track of what you're doing, and talk to a live audience at the same time. Kind of hard to walk and chew bubblegum.
You're back.
But I don't want to give either of them up. Prefer not having companions myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, for me it depends on the character concept. For some builds it's necessary. For other builds it's not, but I do tend to prefer the ones that don't need them. Now, modded companions, modded followers can add a lot to the game. Like Lucian and Inigo have so many unique lines of dialogue for specific situations that it can really become like an aid for roleplay.
And he didn't get it. It's as simple as that.
Minions! Magus loves minions.
Being Moonborn is not so much of a curse as
Of the undead variety, for the most part.
That's fine for you. But he wanted to be clean. He wanted to meet Iskra.
Don't like the Commanion's questline so much? It's short. I think it's good. It's just, it's another one of those factions that didn't seem completely fleshed out. Like the Dark Brotherhood seems complete. The Thieves Guild seemed complete.
No matter our own thoughts on the blood.
The Companion's questline and the Mages Guild, the college questline seems like... Just notice my noise gate does not seem to be working. I think wiped out a lot of my audio settings on OBS after the last update. Gotta figure that out. It's like redlining, it's like capping out constantly.
And it's in pieces like it has been for 1,000 years.
And dragons were just stories. and the elves once ruled Skyrim. Just because something is, doesn't mean it must be. The blade is a weapon, a tool. Tools are meant to be broken and repaired.
Is that?
Serana has a huge mod of new Oh yeah, Magus explored that a few times. It's part of Lexi's guide, so sometimes when Magus does that on his stream, when he remods his game according to Lexi's, he uses it. And there are certain members of our audience that hate it. Strudel specifically.
The rest of you,
it kind of becomes a little like flirty and overtly like sexual in ways that don't make a whole lot of sense, but
to Ysgramor's tomb to save the soul of the harbinger of the companions.
I know, pretty cool, right?
Legends are made of.
It is. So it's like things like this that the Companions questline is really cool. Like the story beats of the Companions questline is very good. A lot of the main things that you do in this questline are really cool, but like the Radiant quests are uninspired. You don't get a whole lot of time with Kodlak to fully respect the man. And it's the pacing on it is all off. You seem to go from Whelp to Harbinger in like a couple days. Like almost immediately. Okay, so let's head to Ysgramor's tomb, eh? See, we can take a carriage ride to Winterhold and go the rest of the way on horse or on foot. Hoof or foot. Her voice takes some getting used to. The one in the dialogue expansion for Serana. Just because something is doesn't mean it must be. Deep. I have SDA on my current one. It did away with some of the cringe, but also she has the same voice throughout now too, which was the biggest turnout. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds pretty ideal, actually. I mean, I've never really felt the need to expand on Serana's stuff anyway. I feel like she of like all the followers is pretty well fleshed out.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
So it's probably not a mod I'll ever install, ever feel the need to install. I feel like she's fine in my game the way she is.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
But it sounds like they've addressed like a lot of the complaints from that previous mod. Less cringe, same voice throughout. Cieln didn't have a follower until Gale told me about Teldrin. Ah, Cieln and Teldrin. A duo for the ages. Just go without her. Excuse me. Okay, where's my horse? I mean, when I can. Yeah, sometimes it's forced upon you. You don't have a choice. Whispers. Can't tell what they're pointing at. I know that there are some bandits out yonder. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see where these whispers are pointing me right now. Lexi is starting to rebuild her guide, like complete rebuild, or just like a new version of it? Yeah, I agree. Teldrin and Serana are the two best vanilla followers. They just offer a lot more in terms of immersion and character and uniqueness than any of the other vanilla followers. Any voice but Teldrin wouldn't be Teldrin. Well, they have that AI voice stuff now, which is really hit or miss, but it works well enough. Look at this Horker. Squaring up on us. Oh, then of course killing this one Horker attracts them all. Well, soul fodder anyway. Soul fodder would be an awesome band name.
Come on then.
Who are those guys over there? Talos worshippers, maybe? Pilgrims? How you doing over there, Lucian? Oh, that's Ayla. Okay. Well, we're in the right area anyway. Who are you fighting? Is there a slaughterfish or something over there? Alright, well, I'll let you handle that, and I'll just meet you at the tomb. How about that? Zapped Horkers indeed. Carjo is a good follower to have if using Inigo. They have a lot of great dialogue together. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I know that Rykon, during his like original Let's Play series, he had both Carjo and Inigo, and I think that he ended up either killing or exiling Carjo in terms of roleplay. He was a spy or something. But I didn't realize they had like unique dialogue. There was supposed to be an update, a new update to Inigo that expanded his unique dialogue between him and other followers. And Smart Blue Cat was showcasing like some Erender stuff.
Kodlak was right.
That looked great.
I let vengeance rule my heart.
But Smart Blue Cat has gone silent. He's probably got some personal stuff he's dealing with.
Further with my mind fogged or my heart grieved.
Is she going soul styles now or just implementing Valhalla precision? Yeah, that's a big question, right? How's she going to handle combat?
All right then. This is the rest.
Oh my God!
And his most trusted generals.
Yeah.
You should be cautious.
How do we need you to be cautious?
The original companions, their finest warriors, rest with Ysgramor. You'll have to prove yourselves to them. It's not that you're intruding. I'd wager they've actually expected us. They just want to be sure that you're worthy. Be ready for an honorable battle.
And how do we get inside?
Return Wuthra to Ysgramor. It should open the
Valhalla and CBBE are on the table. Ooh. Boobies. And TDM plus more DAR. Okay. So it doesn't sound like full soul style. Although true directional movement is kind of soul style, right? But you can at least disable that in the MCM. But I'm not seeing any mention of the MCO, ADXP. No, not soul style. Jiggly. If she updates anything, if it were me, I'd be ditching 360 movement behavior for TDM. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like I said, at least with TDM, you can disable or enable all that stuff in the MCM. All right, let's go fight some Draugr. Or not Draugr, but...
I'm getting out of here.
And another one bites the dust. Must have taken years to build this place.
Maybe they're Draugr, but mostly just old companions. Wow, the Cursed Rune really makes quick work of these guys. Inigo's mod doesn't make Carjo an a-hole. They have dialogue and stuff like fleas and their tails and stuff. Oh, nice.
Is someone there?
Oops. We got nothing to worry about with these guys here. That one arrow did nothing. Yeah. And just to prove it, I am on legendary difficulty. Though it doesn't feel like it. Any good treasure in here? I don't think this place has a whole lot of really good treasure. There's one boss chest at the very last area. But leading up to it, I don't remember there being a lot of good loot in here. Oh, there's a chest. She's tough. Okay. This one's a little tougher. Oh. Managed to miss the the courage spell from Lucian again. Oh, accidentally feared Ayla there too. Oh well. Ooh, getting handy with that blade.
Shield brother.
What's the matter?
Ever since Dustman's cairn, the big crawly ones have been too much for me. Everyone has his weakness, and this one is mine. I'm not proud, but I will stay
afraid of spiders? I feel like there's something more going on with Farkas there. In fact, I know there is.
For Codlac.
Alright. Yeah, and I have a perk now too that if I hit somebody with a fear effect within like a certain radius that they become disarmed from it. Alright, time for some spideys. Ouch, okay. Okay, down to half life.
Get him! Kill him! You bested me.
From the poison. Not immune to poison, it seems. Go ahead and top off the health there. You trying to get my attention there, Lucian? Whoa! Okay. Ooh, there's a big mama there too. There's been talk of MCO. This one is not sure it will make it though. Okay. Tried all the MCO, wasn't really impressed. Felt laggy. Yeah, because it's not like baked into the game itself. That's kind of the problem I have with all that stuff too. I think they're going for more of a Souls style a little bit. I haven't played it because I play on controller and a lot of that stuff just isn't compatible without like a key mapping app that you have to run in the background. And I really don't want to do that. That kind of introduces some lag here and there too. But it ends up being more, at least from what it looks like, it ends up being more of a Monster Hunter style, which I don't like. There's like a camera lock on, but once you start going into like your weapon combo or something, you kind of tend to veer off a little bit, and it does feel a little disconnected in that way. The lock on from TDM apparently is a much better lock-on tool than just the regular camera lock that is in Monster Hunter, though, from what I've seen. But yeah, I can see maybe what you're getting at, Magus. I haven't used it to feel it myself, but I would imagine that, as with a lot of these tacked-on mechanics mods, feels a little behind, a little disconnected from the game. Yeah, we all done here? Oh, you know what? I feel like there was not a boss chest, but like a mid-level chest back in here before I got to the spider area. I don't know that I looted it, and I just want to go back and double check now. It was back in this room, I think. Yeah, right up here.
We should move in here. Said no one ever.
Great Elven Wings Blade. That's probably a great sword. Two-handed. It's probably not going to get much use out of that. But maybe Lucian will like it. We'll take that. Oh, alright.
What's on your mind?
Why don't you carry this for me, huh?
Whatever you say, boss.
Nope, still like Dawnbreaker better. Alright, I like it. The Bard is lethal, no? Yeah, he is. Especially since the upgrade that I did this week. So this week, I decided to have our Bard lean totally into the werewolf monster thing. So he has become a very dark Bard, very dark and scary Bard. I have changed from calm spells to fear spells, and I have perked accordingly. But with the new gear upgrade, I've also used like my alchemy and my enchanting prowess to create a new crafting gear set, which allowed me to upgrade this quite a bit. So I'm now at the armor cap, or above the armor cap, and we're also doing a lot of damage with enchanted weapons here too. So we're dishing out a lot of damage. High level enemies still seem to do a lot of damage to us, which is fine. We're a bit of a glass cannon. I was thinking at the beginning of this stream that we're not going to have anything else that's really going to challenge us for the rest of this character's life. So I'm thinking once we get done with the Companions quest line, that we're going to be taking on the Dawn Guard quest line, and once we kill Harkin, we will we'll retire this character. We'll give him the rest that he's earned. We'll move on to a new one. And in the next character, I'm going to get rid of the uncapper. Oh, he likes that move. I like that move too. The knee, the flip, and the stab. Hell yeah. That guy's lingering too. So yeah, if we can get to an endpoint with this character, I will take that as a win. There's some crap here that I don't need. Ooh, excuse me. My current setup is 100% mine, but Styx convinced me to give MCO a go, but I've been missing some of the challenge of the old combat system. Yeah, for me, rebalancing number one, I feel like I've gotten a hold of Ordinator, and I know the tips and tricks well enough that I think a lot of my characters are going to be successful depending on their beginning. So Malderoth a while back gave me a bunch of mods that I can use to make the game harder. I'm going to be adding those in very slowly, one step at a time though. The first step is disabling the uncapper. I'm using Dirty Weasel's uncapper config, which is great for like a long play, role play specific stuff, but becomes really overpowered with Ordinator because you get extra perks every 5 levels, and then the uncapped skills themselves in conjunction with Ordinator leads to some very, very strong things, even without perks. So capping everything back at 100 again, leaning on legendary system for continued leveling, and not having extra perks, I think, is going to make a big difference in terms of balancing, and that's the first step, right? Having less perks is going to change how I play a lot, because you can't just willy-nilly just add things in a greedy way where it's like, okay, this looks good now, I think I'm going to take this is probably going to be fun, let's do this now. It's gonna make me think a lot harder about how I'm going to spend each and every perk point, and maybe I bank those perks when I get them to use them later. It's gonna create much more focused builds too, so I'm hoping that it has the side effect, the happy side effect, that I'm going to be able to pump build guides out faster this way. So I'm excited about that.
Did he now?
I'm excited to take perks away from myself, basically.
The witches' heads. Excellent. Throw one of them into the fire. It will release their magic. For me, at least.
I wanted to challenge Requiem was it, but I hear ya. Requiem does sound a lot harder in a lot of ways, but I'm still an Ordinator guy through and through, and will be for the foreseeable future. There's just a lot of build craft that Ordinator enables. Ooh, Kodlak's Wolf Spirit is tough.
No sign of defeated.
Should get a lot of soul power from that though too. A lot of charge. Alright, Kodlak, how's that for you? Valkyrie makes you powerful as well. Yeah, I mean, once I completely have saturated my experience with Ordinator, I might
The other harbingers remain
add on Valkyrie as with the Valkrinator patch,
the heroes of old,
and that will expand buildcraft even further, but I don't foresee myself completely switching to Valkyrie anytime soon. I used it in VR for a while because because VR didn't have support for larger perk trees, so Ordinator wasn't really a viable option back then, but Valkyrie was, and I did like what it did. I preferred Ordinator because Ordinator enables you to do a lot of things that Valkyrie doesn't. And the main ones for me are that the damage doesn't scale with destruction, with the destruction skill, and that there's no Lion's Arrow perk. Those are the two big ones that were kind of deal breakers for me. There we go. Ayla.
Did I hear right? Did he say you were to lead the companions?
I think he did. Does this upset you?
I'm just surprised. But your strength and honor are apparent to all. And it's my honor to be first to address you as Harbinger. Let's
thank
go
you.
tell the others.
Alrighty then. Back to Jorvaskr then. I think Vilkas and Farkas are both piss farting around here somewhere, right? I think the game itself does, once you're a certain level, even Legendary is like playing on Novice. Well, yeah, if you perk correctly, right? That's kind of the point of like buildcraft in general, and RPGs like this that have buildcraft. Is that your reward for building correctly, is that you have an easier time with the game. Or a more fun time with the game. It's really open-ended like that in a lot of ways. Skyrim is one of the best immersive sims ever made in that way, because you can allow your buildcraft to change the way that you play. You can find your own fun with it.
See you again.
I cured Kodlak.
Yes, you brought honor to him, even after his death. A worthy outcome for a worthy warrior.
New song, I'm Your Harbinger, baby. No, I got an idea for the new song already. You gave me a good idea, though. Kodlak has said I should lead the companions now.
If you had told me a few months ago that some outsider I had never heard of would lead the companions, I might have slit your throat.
Oh.
But I've seen what you can do.
You could try to slit my throat.
Heard of the love that Kodlak had for you. The trust. Let's hope you can show that his heart was not deceived. Good luck, my friend.
You going back to Jorvaskr now?
Not right now. I'm going to look at some of these carvings. I wonder if Ysgramor ever set foot here while he was alive. But you don't have to stay if you don't want to. I'll see you back at the Jorvaskr. Stories to tell the others, eh?
Indeed.
Until next time.
What are you... Ah, good to see you again.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard, but I cured Kodlak.
He's not a werewolf anymore?
Nope.
Even dead?
He gets to go to Sovngarde.
Good thing.
It is. I'm glad you think so. Also, Kodlak said that I should be your fearless leader now. What do you think about that?
Oh, you don't have to worry about any problems from me. I do what I'm told. Congratulations.
You're good stuff, Farkas. You going back to Jorvaskr, or you hanging out here with your brother?
I go where my brother goes. I think he wants to look around some more.
All right, that's fine. Well, I'll see you back at the upside down boat in a bit, okay?
Fight well.
You too. All right, so we still have a job for Ayla.
Hello. You're someone who can get things done. I like that.
All right, you came right back in to say that to me? Ladies first. An elf leading the companions. Yeah. Makes for a good story at least, and that's what the bard is all about, is a good story, right? All right, still fairly early in the day. Where is Ayla's job here? I'm not seeing the cursor. Oh, okay. It was right down here. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That book for Ulag, or Urag. What the hell? Oh, no, I haven't found it yet. Okay. Didn't have it selected. All the way down here, huh? Okay. Broken Helm Hollow. It's already been cleared. Okay, we'll do that next stream. Anyway, I'm going to have to save that for the next stream, and I'm going to have to save the song I had in mind for the next stream, too. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I think this is a good place to stop it. I'm getting real hungry. I need to stop for lunch. And if I just take a quick break now, we're going to be at the end of the stream window anyway. So thank you again so much for joining me. I feel like we're getting closer and closer to giving this guy a good send-off here, right? And this will be, if we make it, the first time I've actually succeeded successfully retiring a character alive. Hunger, indeed. Thanks for the stream. You guys are welcome. Thank you. Race doesn't seem to matter when you consider Ayla's description of the companions. Yeah, that's a good point. I might have some social obligations for next week, so I may not be around next week. It's either next week or the week after. I don't know yet. But hopefully I'll see you next week. If not, the week after, for sure. And we'll pick up where we left off with this one. Let's just go ahead and plug some people in the audience. So Maldaroth has a Twitch stream. He streams live on Twitch. You can find the description below. He does a lot of Skyrim. His game looks great. He's a super chill dude. I like him a lot. Go leave him a follow and come hang out with us when we go watch his streams. Same with Magus. He's got a Twitch stream. He's playing a Necromancer right now. Made a huge amount of progress the other day, maybe even just yesterday. Some marathon streams over there. He's got a lot of hours in the game, which is one of the biggest understatements I've ever made in my life. Thousands and thousands, maybe tens of thousands. So he knows what he's talking about. You learn a lot watching him. He's also a really good dude, fun to hang out with. So go leave him a follow over on Twitch as well. Description in the link in the description below. Who else do we have here? Caladran has some fan fiction writing that is very character centric. Explores a lot of relationships between either Cieln and Teldrin or Kosh and Sonnet. Vampires, Dunmer, you know, all kinds of good stuff there. some very good stuff. I'm looking forward to reading it at some point. Haven't quite gotten through it yet, but from what I have read, it's been lovely writing and a lovely story. I have read a chapter here and there, and it's been very nice. So the link's in the description below for that if you like fantasy writing as well. I think that was it for everybody that's in the chat today. Thanks everybody again, and I will see you next time. Be well in the meantime. All right, bye guys.